implemented inside your payroll. And also, as we have already covered the EC payroll part, so I will be having a connect with that because most of the organizations they will be moving from tax factory BSI to cloud BSI. So we will be focusing on that area. Then I'll be guiding you regarding how to apply those tax specific nodes and how to test those nodes. Okay, so these are different tax related area I'll be covering. Then we'll be seeing that there are different third-party configuration like ADP. I'll be giving one example. Mostly in US, they use ADP
Yes.
for third-party configurations and all. And followed by, we'll be focusing on the payroll interface design as well as finance integration. So FICO integration, I'll be focusing more on the latest one. That is S4 HANA based FICO integration that I'll be focusing on.
Okay.
Then the common PCR, so like the standard PCR, how it looks like and how to modify those, customize those PCRs as per the basic requirements, your client requirement and all. So these are the focus area which I have received from the team.
Yeah,
so,
I wanted to add something there about remuneration statement, how to configure remuneration statement.
Okay, that is okay.
Because I sent this list to him, but it was just from my mind. I wanted to be sure I cover, because you know why these days things are getting a little kind of difficult for independent people, and it's getting to that time of the year when people start looking for end of year support. I already got some calls from some recruiters about most of these, which means people are already preparing for the half year or year-end payroll reporting. So that's why, and the scope in the market right now because of the virus is so low. I wanted to, and I have not done a US payroll before. I know gross payroll is almost like common to most payrolls.
Yes.
But net payroll, which contains most of these, especially for US, I'm not very familiar at all.
Exactly. So you worked on Canada payroll, right, business? Or
yes, that's most of what I worked on till now. Yes.
Okay, Canada payroll. So yeah, definitely that net part only will be focusing because gross payroll is easy compared to net one.
Yes.
Gross payroll. Okay, and thank you for confirming. Actually, pay statement I was about to include only because this pay statement, it comes under your payslip configurations. Okay, and most of the time it is done by the developer. Okay, ABAP developer, not very difficult. Like it is not the pay statement we are using these days, the latest one, HR forms. There is a concept, and I even do that. So most of the projects, being a developer in the earlier days of my career, so there is no point. Like I will be able to explain. It's a complete one day. So it means to complete one session completely. I will take pay statement regarding how to configure those pay statements. There are different terminologies, metastar, delta star, so many things inside that. Okay, I'll be exploring. So thanks for confirming that. Okay, for that I may need SAP ERP access. So I'll be just checking it because I do have EC payroll access. In that, actually, what happens that pay statement configuration is it is a web-based, so certain configuration will not work there. So what happens generally in my last project, what I did, we had S4 HANA system. From that, my developer actually downloaded and uploaded in the EC payroll. So otherwise, I will check what I will do. So at present, I do not have that access to the on-premise old one. So let me check if I'm able to. So that I will keep it towards the end because that will be a completely purely different topic altogether. Okay, so thanks for confirming, and I will be definitely cover that topic as well. Okay. Anything else if you'd like to add here?
No, I think these are the main ones I see. If you think of any, like when a consultant goes to do a payroll implementation, if you think there's anything missing in this list from the point of view of net payroll, I don't want to, schema is a totally different ball game. I don't want to go too much into it. I just wanted to know some of these things that, especially for year ends and half year ends, that people will be looking for specializations and how to be confident in actually approaching them. even if you don't know all the issues, at least you can go in there and be able to troubleshoot and all that. Yeah.
Definitely. I'll focus on this area, and also I have some checklist. Okay, from that, because last 6 months back I had a support project on that, but I need to check if there is any updates, because these things keeps on updating as we have EC payroll. To make it compatible with EC payroll, there are certain things you have to see, like in the BSI they have clearly told you can't use the traditional classic BSI thing. Okay, so you have to upgrade your BSI license to BSI cloud license. Okay, if you like to use for EC payroll. Okay, so otherwise your old tax factory BSI will not work compatible with your US payroll at present. Okay, so so that I'll be going into details. Even that is I have included, although in your EC payroll workbook, sorry, in that all-in-one guide, I have not covered that. So it is an opportunity to go and explore that as well, and we'll be going deep dive into that. Okay, no worries.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome. So today actually mostly the very generic topics I'll be covering. Then tomorrow onwards we will go line by line, like whatever I mentioned in this topic. Okay, so I have to customize this for you again, because this thing, whatever presentation I have, actually it is for a very new person who doesn't know anything about payroll, so gross payroll or nothing. So what I will do, I will just quickly go through those topics, okay, so that it will be a good revision for you today also. Tomorrow onwards we'll be back to the original requirement topic. So today is just an overview of all the US payroll specific topic.
Sure.
So first, as you know, the payroll processes I will be discussing quickly. I will go into, because that we have already seen in the EC payroll thing also, but nothing special for this US. So payroll process very generic one, but what are the things will be? Then I'll be covering what are the different basics of US payroll, what are the challenges or uniqueness. There are two kinds of uniqueness, like functional uniqueness, and there are some technical uniqueness of US payroll that differentiates US payroll compared to other country specific payroll. Okay, and that is the, for that reason there is a demand of this modules. Okay, across the globe, people are looking for hiring a lot for this, especially for US and Canada payroll. I have seen in India also there are so many opportunities for this. I have seen some of my friends are pursuing that. So definitely I'll be going through those topics. We'll be going one by one. So when it comes, this is a very generic topic. Like when it comes to payroll processes, we have in general, this is the high level or L0 level process overview. Like we do have pre-payroll, run payroll, post payroll, and your fourth one is the periodical activities. So pre-payroll, as we have already covered, EC payroll. So the relevant thing will be your one-click monitoring. Okay, if you have recall, one-click monitoring, whatever we have covered in the EC payroll, or we call it pre-payroll activities or simulation payroll, that will be your pre-payroll activities basically. Okay, so all the things you have to check, ensure all those validations, policies, processes. So I'm going a little bit connecting with EC payroll so that you can relate it. Okay, as you have already studied, we have covered EC payroll, so that I will be connecting both the dot between your US payroll and the EC payroll, so that it will be helpful for you. So in pre-payroll, we covered the one-click monitoring, that is your simulation payroll. Then next one is the run payroll. So run payroll, mostly we have seen those how to run a live production payroll run. Okay, so those, that is actual run of that will be done by your payroll process manager. If any issues comes, it goes to your payroll administrator as a subject matter expert. Okay. The third one is the post payroll activities. So post payroll activities, what it will include? It will include your different postings, the posting to finance, or pre-DME, DME, those data medium exchange, banking, transfer to banking, and your check, different check printer, or all those things, payroll, post payroll activities, it will conclude there. And also it involves your different activities related to the tax, so garnishment specific to US and all. Then once it is done, then there is the last process. It will talk about your periodical activities. So periodical activities, as you have mentioned currently now, like there will be year-end activities, or can be 6 month after mid-year activities. there are certain activities depending upon your industry and certain government regulation, federal regulations. You will be having certain periodical activities to be completed in specific for US payrolls. Okay, so those things we will be seeing, but I will be covering mostly from your payroll point of view. Third and fourth process will be focusing more. And so run payroll, as you understand, like the text part, the post gross. Okay, so that things we'll be covering. So this diagrams is really handy for you for again once again to revise uh, payroll as a subject matter expert or as an understanding the topic very brief at high level. So next one, I will just quickly go through. It is not very much this thing. Like in pre-payroll, what are the things we do? This is already we have seen. Like initiate payroll period, managing master data payroll, import external data for payroll. So the third one is important for US. Suppose if you're and you are doing any import for external data, okay, like tax or BSI or anything. Okay, so in that case, this process will be relevant for you. Okay, the third one, import external data for payroll. Similarly, from a process point of view in pre-payroll, what we do, we check payroll data quality. Okay, so data quality as it is an we have I have already shown to you in the EC payroll like how we can configure a validation rule, how we can attach a validation rule to a particular policy, how you can attach that policy to a processes. So those things we have covered. So we had the idea, the purpose behind doing that configuration is to ensure the payroll data quality so that there will be no data discrepancies, there will be no redundancy or inconsistency of data whenever you are doing the payroll run. Okay, so that was the idea. So then process core HR data alert. The alert also we have configured like in EC payroll. So we have seen how to configure the different process, core HR specific data alert because EC payroll we have seen like proactively takes care of the all kind of data alert. Suppose due to some reason some tax related data is not updated in your system for a particular employee or certain SSN number is something mismatch. Okay, something some those kind of data, so we can put those as created as an alert. Okay, so as I was mentioning earlier, so this data validation tools all can be configured. Like suppose the client requires something which is not out of box, whatever off the shelf offering provided by EC payroll, if it is not there in that list, still you can take help from an ABAPer, like for creating a class, means ABAP class by copying the standard, and you can write your own logic and you can build your own logic. Then you can include that validation tool to a policies, then include that policy to a processes. Then you can test like how this validation rule is working or not. In this way, we can check those, create those different alert, and you can process those payroll data alerts. So that was the idea to cover. Okay, so I'm not going very deep into as you we have this presentation with you. So this is very basic thing. Okay, how to initiate payroll period. So these things actually are you also will be finding this in the success factor process library. Okay, so which I've already shared with you in that all-in-one deck. You will find towards the end. Okay, so I'm not going very detail how to manage master data payroll, what are the different event, employee event, but this is good for from an suppose you are having a starting a conversation with your client, like what a typical process will be looking like and how is there any deviation in their current processes. So then this will be useful for you because you can't start a technical conversation with the end user. Okay, so for that reason this diagrams will be very handy or will be very helpful for you whenever you're starting to person who is a payroll administrator and he's more from a business background. Okay, so you can discuss this topic with him. Okay, so certain topics which will be very useful. So all these things we have seen earlier that I actually try to focus once again. So for that reason, you'll be seeing all this process diagram, process for HR data alert, okay, process payroll data alert, how to check those alert and all. So here you can see most of the things. There is a violet or color PCC. For that reason, payroll control center is capable of doing that. So for that reason, we have kept payroll control center as highlighted here. Okay. So that is taken care by payroll control center. Then the L1 process, so this is run payroll, run upcycle payroll. So what are the detailed processes? You can go through it. Okay? So how to run a off cycle, what are the different processes, what are the different steps. Okay, so wherever you will be seeing, there are always PCC. Means I have actually curated it for targeting the EC payroll only. Otherwise, the traditional off cycle payroll process and all means current almost same, but there are certain PCC specific things. Okay, so we can just go through this and read it through. It is good to understand all this topic. Same goes with your post payroll, like what are the different payment will be payroll payment will be done, what how to execute those payroll posting to finance. Okay, how to run those posting finance accounting, releasing, transferring the posting document. Okay, all these things are actually, and it will be, I'll be focusing on this area whenever I'll be discussing the configuration for FI integration. Okay, finance control, FICO integration or S4 HANA FI finance integration.
Okay.
At that point of time, I'll be again come back to this topic. Okay, so I'll be explaining how means this is now means for what are the things to be done in the front end, but in the back end, what exactly happened, that mechanism and that architecture and how those things works inside the system, that will be going deep dive. Okay, so that I kept this topic in the finance integration topic. So definitely we'll be going deep dive into that. Okay.
So are many people, are there many companies now moving to HANA Finance, S4 HANA Finance?
Yes, yes. So actually, SAP has previously told by 2025 people must move, otherwise they will decommission the existing. Okay, but at present they have, at present extended to 2028 or 30, I believe. But still, if SAP has already told, like all the innovation will be happening in your S4 HANA, because that is the go-to product in the future. Okay, it is already, many people are already migrated and started migrating. So these days also you'll be finding many opportunities or many projects are coming from data migration area also, like EC data migration consultant, like EC payroll data migration. So in that area also people are finding a lot of opportunities there also. But most of the customers who are customer of standard, means they start once they are customer of SAP, mostly they try to keep it. They do not want to go with other vendor. Okay, so the current vendor, if it is SAP, they are trying to move it to SAP HANA, S4 HANA Cloud or SuccessFactor, all those. Okay, so yeah. Any question? You're asking something, Andy?
No, that's it. I just wanted to know. It's very timely for me to learn how to do that integration with S4 HANA Finance.
So I'll be covering that topic. S4 HANA finance integration, how that is done. So also there is something called technical thing, which called ALE. Did I cover that? I think I just give an overview of that. Application link enabling, how to create a model, how to create a distribution model. Okay, so that I'll be covering. Okay, how to make those connections. Those are again ABAP activity, but still there is no programming involved or coding involved. I'll be able to explain to you. There is no coding, but as such, there are certain things which you have to do as a functional consultant. You can do. Okay. So actually, the thing is, in many of the projects, even I have worked, like there is no clear segregation between your activities, which the developer will do and which the functional consultant do. They expect everything to be done by EC payroll consultant, integration consultant. Okay, so for that reason, it is good to have all the knowledge of these technical activities as well. Like as you have told, that payroll, pay statement activities, as well as this ALE, application link enabling activities. So that distribution model, I will definitely go a deep dive. Okay, so because I have directly worked on that, so I'm confident enough to go through and I'll explain each and everything of that.
I want it to be as practical as possible. Will you be able to show it to me in the system?
Yes, that will be covering. Means that ALE part I'll be covering, because that is inside my EC payroll itself. Okay, so that I'll be covering in details.
Okay.
So don't worry, I'll be covering those topics in very detail.
Thank you.
So then next is your reporting part. Reporting, there are some standard reporting available, and there are, you can also custom